everybody, I'm just outside of Beaumont, Texas at Spindletop. It's where the Texas oil boom began. By the late 19th century, Standard Oil had a near monopoly for oil production in the United States. Drilling in western Pennsylvania, the oil was mostly turned into kerosene, which was the main source of illumination in the late 1800s. Yet by the turn of the century, the automobile was showing promise and demand was growing for gasoline and other petroleum fuels. In Beaumont, Patillo Higgins had recently returned to the city after working in the lumber industry. Looking for a source of fuel to power a brick manufacturing business he started, Higgins traveled to Pennsylvania and studied the geology of the area to learn about the oil industry. He soon became convinced that an area known as Spindletop Hill was a salt dome that had oil and gas underneath. Most in the oil business at the time dismissed this notion, as they believed the entire Gulf region had little or no oil potential. Undeterred, Higgins managed to gather local investors and started the Gladys City Oil Gas and Manufacturing Company. Yet success did not come right away. After 3 unsuccessful drilling attempts at Spindletop, Higgins convinced experienced driller Anthony Lucas, an Austrian national, to take over the project. After more failures, Higgins was forced out, but Lucas continued his drilling with additional investors. After many technical challenges, Lucas finally started seeing signs that he was getting close in January of 1901. On the 10th, the Spindletop gusher came in. The Spindletop gusher was the largest oil strike the world had ever seen. For 9 straight days before it was finally capped and put under control, it is estimated that 100,000 barrels of oil flew out of the well a day. News of the success at Spindletop shocked the world, and soon a stampede of wildcatters flooded the area. Gladys City and Beaumont were the first Texas oil boom towns, and Beaumont's population quadrupled in a matter of months while land prices went through the roof. Covered in oil derricks and as a result of overproduction, Spindletop dried up after only a few years, but the Texas oil boom had begun. Hundreds of oil companies were founded, including Texaco and Gulf Oil. Today, Texas produces around 2 billion barrels of oil every year. Spindletop Hill is no more, as it has shrunk into a swamp area with a small park marking its location next to it. However, the Spindletop Gladys City Boomtown Museum, about 1.5 miles north, helps preserve its history. Opened in 1976 by Lamar University, the museum has a replica of the Gladys City Boomtown with a land office, saloon, and other buildings featuring historic artifacts and exhibits. It also features a replica of the Lucas gusher, which sprays water instead of oil 100 feet into the air. So come to Spindletop. It's one of the best places in Texas.